Happy Man Talk Monday, men. Rob here, coming at you from Colorado, and hope all is well with you today. Hey, I just wanted to ask you some questions this morning to kind of get your week started and maybe get you recentered a little bit. And the first thing I want to do is just, do you remember those commercials that I know you've seen if you watch television at all? And it's the Snickers commercials where someone is hungry and angry and they're not being themselves, and usually they're acting like someone else. So the videography of it, I guess, so the filming of it is some other person takes over this person's body and starts being grumpy and hangry and you know what they need is a Snickers, because Snickers really satisfies, right? And but in that moment when we've all had this experience where we're not acting like ourselves, or we've been around family members or friends who they're not acting themselves, they're connected to something. In those commercials, someone is connected to their hunger, their low blood sugar, whatever it might be that would cause them to act in a hangry way. You know, sometimes in more real life, like this week, like many of you probably are dealing with, it's back to school week, right? And so I realized this weekend when I had a 14-year-old acting a little bit out of control, and I had to take a step back and remember, he is connected to his anxiety about starting high school and making new friends and getting reestablished into the social order of the school, and learning new things and connecting to new teachers and hoping that he doesn't have the bad teacher, and all those things that happen in August and September when kids are going back to school. They're connected to the stress of it all. And so I just want you to take some time this week to be thinking about what you're connected to. How are you responding and reacting? If you're married or you have a significant other, like, what are they saying? How are you responding and reacting to the world around you? And it may give you a little insight into what you're connected to. On maybe a higher plane, at a more broad view, the question, maybe a bigger life question, is what is your source? And if there's plenty of grace and peace and forgiveness for acting hangry in the moment when your blood sugar is low, or having stress in a season where life is particularly difficult and you're not always, happy-go-lucky, or not always filled with peace or joy or whatever it is that you want to be filled with. But in the broader scheme of life, what are you connected to as your source? If you put all of the instances together that you respond and react to life, it may give you a little bit of a roadmap as to what is your ultimate source. And I think that's worthy of us as men reflecting on, because what our source is matters. What we're connected to, what our source is, it determines what comes out of us. And what comes out of us affects everything that we do. And it affects all the people around us. And it affects the work that we put our hand to. As a Christian, someone who is a follower of Jesus, it may go without saying, but I seek to make my source God himself, Jesus. I seek to make my source the one who created me and the one who knows me best. And the Bible has all sorts of analogies for this, right? That Jesus says that he is the vine, or maybe the trunk of the tree, or the roots, however you would want to say it. But I'm just a branch, and the fruit that comes off of my branch is determined by how connected I am to the vine, or the trunk, or the root of the tree. And my decision as a branch is only to stay connected. What's my source, and what should I be and how should I be connected to it, is the question. And so as I go throughout my day, the outputs that I'm evaluating myself against would be what the Bible teaches me is the fruit of someone who's connected to the source of God himself. In the book of Galatians, Paul writes that the fruit of the Spirit, or the fruit of being connected to God himself, being connected to the Spirit of God in my life, is love and joy and peace and patience and kindness and goodness and faithfulness and gentleness and self-control. So in my life, I have recently started reevaluating, does my output reflect my source? And in all honesty, it doesn't all the time. As my wife and I had a conversation recently where we were talking about this thing, and she made me very aware that I was repeatedly irritable and angry and frustrated. And it wasn't just a one-time thing. It wasn't just a hangry moment where I was connected to my anxiety or connected to my hunger or my low blood sugar. It was a moment, it was a season where I have been connected to maybe a different source, where anxiety was boiling up because I was worried, where maybe the weight of the world, of the world's circumstances is coming on me, and I'm not looking at a source that's saying you can overcome this. I'm looking at the fear that maybe the world is causing me, anxiety about money, difficulty with health, whatever it might be. What source was I connected to? And I had to be honest about that and say it's probably not the source that I intend, not the source of Jesus, the source that is Jesus, the source of love and joy and peace and kindness and faithfulness and gentleness. And that affects everything. And so all grace and mercy to you, man. If you spend some time and evaluate, what is my source? What am I ultimately connected to? You may find that it's not what you want. And that's okay. And recognizing that is the first step. Then once you recognize it, then you can start seeking ways to get and stay more connected to the source of life that you long for and desire, so that you can have the output and the impact in the world around you that you want. I hope this finds you well today. Blessings in this end of summer time period where there's lots of transitions and changes in the weather and in families and schools and attitudes. And pretty soon we'll start wearing sweatshirts and jackets, and life will continue to go on. But may your source be what you intend it to be, and nothing more, nothing less. And I pray that your source could be ultimately Jesus himself. Have a great day. Have a great week. Blessings.